I was thinking about us guys who wire in these 3-wire alternators, and we put in those 470 ohm resistors, and we, especially if you don't have a bulb, or if you do have an LED bulb, you still have to run a resistor, because the resistance of an LED bulb is, let's just figure that out too, is next to nothing. So that's a 194. Let me get one of them out of there and be right back. Okay, so here's a 194 LED bulb, but I was thinking, so if you got a 194 bulb in your dash, you don't need a resistor, but you still need a diode. If you run an LED bulb, I would probably put a resistor in it so you won't burn up your alternator. But then I started thinking, what if you had, how much resistance is in a volt ohm gauge? Okay, so let's take that into consideration. I don't know what's in an amp meter. So that's just my line, you know, that's what you got to minus out. It's like half an ohm. So if you got this voltmeter, then you got resistance through that. So you don't need to put a resistor in. So now, let's see how much resistance is in an LED. Let me just sort of do this thing, get it hooked up. I'll double check again. You get like 0.6 something. And then let's just clamp this on one side of this LED bulb. And see, so you get nothing. So there's your LED bulb. Oh, wait a minute. It's just not even measurable. So your LED bulb ain't gonna do you no good. Look at that. You get nothing. I mean, there it is connected, and you get nothing. So you disconnect it, you get, so if you got an LED bulb in your dash, then you're going to have to put a resistor in it, unless you have a voltmeter, and then you probably got enough resistance through that to cover you. What do you know? Things you think about. So what I did here was I put a gigantic mega fuse here. I put in this new copper thing here. I put in a 50 ampere fuse to tailing off some of the other stuff. Got it where I can see it. I think that's it's a 400. The black thing is a 400, and that's white thing is a 50. And I got another one right down here at the 3-wire alternator. So, all right, well, that's, all right, so it cranks and runs, so we know that. So, anyway, now, let's keep going. So, I do have a voltmeter in here, so I don't need a resistor in line. And I can't remember if my little red lamp in there is an LED or not. But even if it is, if you got the voltmeter, you're fine. You don't need a resistor. Fascinating. Okay, she ain't running in a few days. Let's see where we end up here. We're showing some high voltage there on this. I wonder why. So we're right at 14. That's a pretty good battery. I just charged it too, so she's so dependable. Yeah, she went up some. Okay. So that's kind of glowing a little bit. I don't like that. So I might have too much resistance, but yeah, she's charging. That's all I want to do. I don't want to fill the exhaust system up with water. So my other thing to do is tighten this up. That always reminds me of a person. Funny how things always remind you of somebody. Okay, let's disconnect the battery before we forget. And that's just going to be a little shorty. Just a little notation. Just check everything in line with resistance. And you may not have to put that resistor in line. let's see, what would be the methodology? If you're just running an LED indicator, you got to have a 470 ohm, more or less, whatever, you know, ask a professional, resistor, and run a diode. Run a diode on no matter what you got, so it won't backfeed and your car won't run on. I think that might be one of the things happening with that car. It doesn't do it too much, but does it now and then. It kind of backfeeds and keeps going. And I just run points and everything, so that's probably all that is. All right, well, let's go in. That's enough of this. Well, I'm going to tighten this up. I kind of promised I would. And the squeak is coming from right there on them things. Kind of hard to get them things tight. They sure look good, those brass screws, but I think they're squeaky. I don't like squeaky. Do you? Okay, so I tightened up the arch part. Found out that that piece of steel's broken on both sides right there. Look at that. Isn't that a pain? Maybe that's some of the squeak, huh? But I put some pull tie pieces behind there as a shim and a buffer. Maybe they'll go away. It's a terrible squeak, mostly just on the driveway. Okay, give me a thumbs up and subscribe, and we'll do something later. I gotta go order some stuff. Just little things, some fuses, and I get Bonnie out. It's just now cooling off, so it's kind of a fun time to go out there and see this, that, and center. Okay, missing a battery. Don't you hate when you're missing a battery? Oh, I forgot I had all them. I'll put them up somewhere. I got them turned up, so I'm catching all my luck. I hope it's all good. Okay, hope your luck is good too. Thanks for spending time with me. Talk to you later. No groundhogs today. I'm going to get that boy. Just going to get him.